Al's been part of the men's group as long as I've been coming, which is quite a few years, and we miss him greatly. You could always count on Al to lend a serious tone to the discussions, and he always had stories about his latest workshop, the book that he would just publish, the people he'd interviewed, the radio shows that he'd been on. He had a wonderful engagement with the world. He was always out there telling people what he had learned and learning new things, particularly about, of course, resiliency and surviving, people who had survived incredibly difficult things. And he then taught what he had learned to everyone, whether it was on the Warm Springs Reservation, whether it was the government officials in Salem or in Washington, D.C., or in Botswana. He always had some excellent stories to tell about particular people and the wonderful things that they had managed to do. And from this, he drew lessons that anyone can benefit from about what it takes to overcome really extreme difficulties. He always also had this wonderful attitude himself. I remember the meeting in which he first told us that he discovered that he had cancer, which was quite a surprise to me. He was on an experimental sort of thing, and a physical was thrown in, and in the process they found, oh my God, you've got cancer. He lived with that for quite a while, and it never affected his attitude. He was always upbeat, even when he was really very weak. He went out, he took trips to Washington, D.C. to lead workshops when he could barely stand. And so we miss him a lot, and he has made a great contribution to our understanding of how to be in this world. I've used many of his ideas in things that I have taught to others, books that I passed on. We're missing a lot.